Hey everyone, Facefoot here. We got that massive patch that we've been waiting for, the 13 pager, patch 1.0.3 here. So let's go over it really quick. Got three main sections: class balance changes, gameplay adjustments, and some bug fixes. For the class balance changes, really nothing groundbreaking here. Just some buffs across the board should make everyone's lives a lot easier. They've been focusing on the basic skills specifically, can tell that almost every basic skill for most classes got some sort of adjustments to damage, resource generation, things like that. So overall, people are just going to have a better experience as they're going back and forth. You can read through all this. They're trying to buff some ultimates. I don't know if it's going to really get these online. Actually, for Barb, Kick got a pretty good update here. So we'll see if people go around and start kicking with some success. But overall, nothing to get too excited about. Dismount abilities did get a buff across the board for every class. I don't know why this was a thing, but now we can be a little more excited to get off the horse since nobody really likes riding that thing around anyway. Legendary aspects are getting buffs across the board too. You can see when you're reading this, it got these little decimals here. It's just the multipliers changing, so the actual effects that you're getting on these items are going to have pretty good changes. Looks like Earthquake and Dust Devils are the two ones getting the most attention, and items Overkill and Hellhammer are both getting some buffs. So we'll see if Deathblow and Upheaval can both get a little more action. But let's just go through these quick. You read through them all specifically. Again, basic skills getting a buff for Druid. Flaw is used in our Storm Strike build, so that'll be pretty interesting to see how this affects that build. Probably get a little decent damage buff there, but Grizzly Rage had no nerf or change. Some people were worried that they were actually going to bring Druid down a little bit, but it's actually just buffs everywhere. Nature's Fury is getting a significant buff here from 20 to 30%. You're going to be in a pretty good spot as a Druid. Same thing down here. Some aspects are getting some changes. You can read through them, see how they're all affecting things, but everything is just going up except for right here. Excuse me, it's a cooldown decrease, so that's a win too. Necro, maybe the least exciting to read through from what I'm hearing from others as well. Same deal, buffs across the board, nothing too crazy. This is getting a double buff from Iron Maiden, so that's pretty good. Down here, they also have an aspect. I think it's Fast Blood. This one's pretty interesting too. So having that ultimate cooldown adjusted from half to one to 1.5, it's going to be a pretty decent buff to that item. So we'll see how that works out for necromancers. Rogues, kind of like necros. You can read through it yourself. Base damage, base damage, base damage, base damage, base damage. Cooldown, cooldown. Again, I'm about to fall asleep just looking at it. You can read through this if you want. I'm over rogues already. Sorcerer, again, buffs across the board. You'll see here, Blizzard's actually getting a decent little buff. And when we come down to the aspects, the one that gives you damage reduction when you're in your own Blizzard is also getting a little bit of a buff. So pretty good to see Blizzard going up still. No nerf on that build. You're going to notice Fireball's got a buff. Incinerate, they're trying to give some fire attention here. Firewall is not mentioned, but if we jump down to bug fixes, you can actually see in gameplay, it's the Burning Instinct power hasn't been working correctly, and they buffed this. And word on the street is this is probably going to be about at least like a 10% damage increase to Firewall. So Firewall's going up, Blizzard's going up. Lightning's got some little mini buffs here across the board with Lightning Spear and some charged bolts is getting a little bit of thing. These come out when you're using unstable currents, unlike the big lightning reset builds. So Sorcerer again across the board just going up. Everything's looking pretty all right. Some buffs to fire items, frost items, lightning items. Again, a couple of the uniques getting a buff. Looking pretty good. Then jumping into gameplay adjustments, these are some pretty significant ones. So, experience is going up big time across the board. Just say Helltide real quick already was one of the best events, and the chests are going to be giving you way more experience now. Nightmare Dungeons, just across the board getting a buff. It's the monsters are going to give you more experience. You're going to get more experience at the end of them. And on top of it, you can now teleport straight to the Nightmare Dungeons by using the sigil in your inventory. You no longer have to ride the horse all the way over there. Word on the street is this experience buff is massive. People have been out there playing, for an hour or so since before me making this video. And yeah, so if you've been having a problem leveling up and that's been one of your deterrents to, grinding more, get out there, try some Nightmare Dungeons, go ride around some Helltide. It's apparently quite a bit different. It's going to be, levels are going to be flying at you like we've never seen before. Also getting more experience from the Whispers, and at the same time, the Helltide roaming bosses are going to be dropping better loot. And the world bosses, they drop that weekly cash. A lot of people, either got carried or went and did a world boss on, say, World Tier 4 and cash drops and it's required level 80. They no longer have a level requirement. So you can get right in there, use them when you get them. That's pretty awesome. It also says here in this dev note, which a lot of people are skipping, is that looks like they're going to look to increase more elite density end game content. This change should be coming in season 1. So that's really good to see. Again, bug fixes. I'm not going to list through all these. Nobody likes a long video reading off bug fixes. You can read through them. A lot of these are going to bring a lot more quality of life to things. A lot of these are just, fixing things that were straight up broken. Like I mentioned, the burning instinct, things like that are going to make you more powerful. I'm just seeing Skeleton Warrior here too, and I want to go real quick back to Necro since I've neglected this point. But Necro had actually a significant change with your minions are now going to always engage targets with a cast curse. This is where Necros are getting a big win in this patch. So if you've been playing around with a minion build and this has been annoying you like it has been everybody else, go try it out again, see how this is working for you. And again, overall, they still are getting the same just kind of general buffs everybody else is getting. But I definitely glanced over this one, and engaging those cast curse targets is going to be huge. Again, you can read through the bug fixes, but overall, it seems like a pretty good patch. I think we all got maybe teased and a little bit too excited about a 13-page patch and what that could all mean and what that could entail. If you ask me, I think this is a great start. Things like more inventory space or being able to search the inventory, a gems tab, or force fixes, whatever it is. There's a laundry list of things that people wish were better or different in the game. They're going to be working on it. These things will come over time. I think this is a great, game's only been out here for a few weeks now. This is a pretty major adjustment to the game. Good. They're listening. The experience is there. We've been complaining about basic skills being just worthless and having to use them. Sure. I think a lot of people would still rather just not have to use them, but there's going to be some builds where it's just, if they can make them viable enough, it won't feel so bad. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's a lot more changes coming down the road, and we'll just try to keep you updated. Good luck out there.